The Psalms and prophets foretold the man of sorrows, but Simeon revealed that his mother would also suffer. A sword shall pierce thy own soul. Mary's heart would be pierced 7 times, yet through these sorrows she became the mother of mankind. In the temple, Simeon took the infant Jesus in his arms and blessed God. Then he turned to Mary. Behold, this child is set for the fall and for the resurrection of many, and thy own soul a sword shall pierce. From that moment, Mary knew her motherhood would be steeped in pain. Saint Alphonsus says, "The martyrs suffered by the sword in their bodies, but Mary suffered by the sword in her soul." She bowed her head in silence. She accepted that her son would be a sign of contradiction, and that she herself would share his wounds in her heart. When Herod sought the child, Mary fled with Joseph into Egypt. By night they traveled in poverty and fear, with no resting place. Yet Mary held close the King of Heaven, keeping him safe from the rage of men. In her sorrow, she teaches us to trust God, even when the road is dark. St. John Eudes tells us, the crosses borne by Jesus were also borne by his mother. In every exile of our life, Mary walks beside us. After the feast of the Passover, Mary discovered her son was not among the caravan. For 3 days she sought him in anguish. Her sorrow was a foretaste of Calvary, for what pain is greater for a mother than to lose her only beloved son? At last she found him in the temple. "Child, why hast thou done so to us?" He answered, "Did you not know I must be about my Father's business?" Even in joy, her heart was pierced by mystery. As Christ carried his cross, he met his mother. Their eyes joined in one silent offering. Saint Bernard says, "What he suffered in the body, she endured in her heart." Every insult, every fall, every wound he bore, she bore also in her soul. No tongue can tell the grief that weighed upon her. She walked with him in spirit, offering her son to the eternal Father, that sinners might be saved. At Calvary, Mary stood beneath the cross. She saw the nails driven, the blood flow, and her son lifted high between heaven and earth. His cry pierced the skies, and it pierced her soul. Saint Alphonsus writes, "Every wound of Jesus was a wound in the heart of Mary." When he said to John, "Behold thy mother," she embraced all mankind in sorrow. From the cross, her motherhood was sealed. When the body was taken down, Mary received him into her arms. The prophecy was fulfilled. A sword had pierced her very soul. She kissed his wounded hands and feet. She pressed her face to his torn cheek. Her grief was beyond all telling. Yet even in that moment, she offered him once more to God. She became the Queen of Martyrs, not by the shedding of blood, but by the suffering of her heart. Mary followed as they carried her son to the tomb. With every step, sorrow weighed upon her like lead. She watched as the stone was rolled across the entrance. It closed not only upon her son, but upon her own heart. Yet even as she wept, her faith did not fail. She believed the promise of his rising. She teaches us to hope in darkness and to trust that joy will come in the morning. From Mary's sorrows, grace flows into the world. Her tears became fountains of mercy. Her anguish became consolation for sinners. Through her intercession, souls are lifted from bondage. She comforts the afflicted. She strengthens the faint-hearted. Thus she is called the cause of our joy. For by her 7 sorrows, she has become the mother of all who believe in her Son. The 7 swords pierced Mary's heart, but through them she became our refuge and our mother. Saint Bernard says, "As Eve brought death, so Mary by her sorrows has brought life. Her tears are our hope, her sorrows our consolation, her Son our salvation."